hold it down, soon we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how last year was on my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face, I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself, I was too busy getting busy. Now they see me out in public and be knowing what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family.
The Beast is back. It's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Beast Mode. Marshawn Lynch still churning out big games like he did a week ago, as it'll be the Okland Raiders as they get set to square off against the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Okland Raiders. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Carr now on first down. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 10 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. What the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
They'll run to Marshawn Lynch, and he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Back deep, Taylor Gabriel. And now running right through it. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
Well, he started his season the way that everyone wants to start their season, with an absolute bang. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Let's see where he goes from here.
Set the bar high. Week 2, we'll see what he can do. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Goff. And that's the first NFL catch for Cortland Sutton. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A special moment, touchdown number 1 in his NFL career. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Do you think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Okland ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
Let's highlight a big strength of this team, the offensive line led by Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, and Rodney Hudson. All three were Pro Bowlers in 2017, but it didn't translate as well as they wanted on offense. Just 23rd in scoring and a 6-10 record.
On second down, Lynch. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And a second spin. And still fighting. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. And Denver getting set to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings, or for some reason it builds up. For this guy, day game, and
this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now the Okland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 14-0 is our score. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. From the gun, it's Carr. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Lee Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
And he finds Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And Cook has it left side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. And we see his collection of highlights. He's always so tough to cover.
He really is, and there are plenty of reasons why. Runs great routes, has an understanding of what defenses want to do against him, and really has a great determination to go up and get the football. He decides it's his and no one else's. And
he's decided that a lot so far in this game. So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun. Gone. He's going to rifle one deep left. It's caught inside the 25. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now gone. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to Denver right after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. They'll come out in the pistol. This will be caught at about the 6. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Broncos will extend their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Okland ready to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Samson Abukum in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Oh, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here now, Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the old average. 68 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again here on offense. Jared Goff trots back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes. That's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now whistles and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Goff. And he's got his target. That's more. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
Goff now looking to throw. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Gone. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Bronco score. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. McManus's point after is good. And is on here in this first half. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And our focus now moves to Jordy Nelson. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run, maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. To throw is Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cook. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Shotgun now for Carr. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Seth Roberts in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders get a score closer. And it's up and good.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go to the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot before break here. Goff. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it was the visiting Chiefs who come in and get the victory on the road. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And that one's at halftime with the visiting Lions out on top. Matthew Stafford, 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Zay Jones, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. In the game you're watching, it was Jared Goff with a strong first half. His 5 touchdown passes have him on a record pace. As for the call of the second half, we'll turn it back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one, because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, third. And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way home for a Bronco score. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field. Because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Get down. 180.
On play action, it's Carr. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he's taken down inside the 30. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Monday, down. 180.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. It's a foot race. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now McManus for the extra point. McManus's point after is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Down.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Raiders first down. Carr hooking up with Cook.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Get down.
First down, the run with Lynch. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. From midfield, here's Carr. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Down.
Carr to throw on second down. And a right side completion here by LaFell. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Raiders on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Carr. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Let's not forget, a year ago, this was a last-place team in their division in the National Football League. How quickly the fortunes can turn.
And somewhere, there's a former commissioner smiling down and looking because parity was something he was looking for in this league, and it plays itself out year after year. Last to first is not something that's uncommon in the NFL.
Yeah, a season ago, they didn't have one performance like this, but they put it all together in this ball game. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 4th down, Goff. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Raiders with...
Do I really need it? WTF, refs, I had the first, whatever, okay, I only got 5, but,
Okland ready to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because...
You're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Richard. And he stopped immediately there. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Now Carr. Now a desperation throw.
Oh, my God. Should have had it.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Okay, I'll get those 6 points back.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year.
Can't shut down Lindsey that much.
All right, and
Lindsey's
sometimes
good.
you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today.
Cut.
Just think about your
Good
routine
job, good
stays
job,
the
good
same.
job.
Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Do it again, Lindsey. Do it again.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And just
Are you kidding me?
That time as they're able to get him down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
Auto zone.
So for Denver, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.